Hello. If you guys can hear and see me, please drop a message in the chat. I was so excited. I didn't want to wait till 5:30. Just bear with me. I'm just doing a setup here. Oh, Ghislaine, hello. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining early. Bear with me. It's been a while I've been able to use live. I still do not know what I did to YouTube, but here we are. Let me just wait for some more people to join. I think we have some time. So, hello. Hi, everyone joining. Nice to see you all. Oh, look at my hair. My hair is dry. My hair is dry because I haven't done my usual. I tend to do my routines in the evening because I'm lazy. Please drop a chat in the so I can know that you're engaging. I'll wait for us to get like a few people. Then exactly 5:30. Wonderful. I joined a bit earlier. Ooh, 5. Wow. Okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. Oh, so lovely to see you all. I can't see you very well. Please let me, please drop a message in the chat. Hello. Hi. Oh, so nice to see you all. Bless you. Yeah. Hi. Hi, Wendy. Gillian already said hello. Hi, Karen. Oh, bless you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So I'll get started then. So basically, first of all, hi again. Thank you for joining my live. I feel I don't know. It feels like seeing old friends again. For whatever reason, YouTube did not allow me to live stream for weeks, and I got so frustrated. I joined TikTok, which in a way it's its own type of content. But the thing is, I would prefer streaming on. I've never done a stream on TikTok, but I would prefer streaming here. So yes, hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening to everybody who's joined. And taking out on a Monday. I didn't expect Megan to drop a podcast on a Monday, guys. Especially one where she was the one being interviewed. So this is all very exciting. I've already shown you guys the trailer. So I'm going to react in a different way today, guys. I'm so sorry. My plan was to use OBS, but because the last time I used the OBS, honestly, I wasn't pleased with the quality. I wasn't, it kept on lagging, and we are having a conversation, and I was like, I don't want to spend, instead of talking to the camera, I feel like I'm like, oh, what's happening? So, what I wanted to do, if you guys do not mind, maybe wherever you are. I am going to play, and also, oh guys, monetization on this app has become ridiculous. As in the things I could get away with before, I can't. So what I said I will do is I'll trial this process out where I'm going to play it loud. So if you have YouTube wherever you are, please put it on. We're going to be reacting live together. We're going to be talking about it. Unfortunately, I cannot put it on my screen because I am not sure, one, of copyright issues. I don't want us to get demonetized, and I want us to feel like, we are friends sitting in the living room watching it together and, having a genuine conversation. So please, as much as possible, please put your messages in the chat. We are live reacting. Like I said, please feel free to listen to it on your when I say go, please feel free to put on your podcast, feel free to put on your own YouTube. If you don't know the link, let me see if I can post the link. I'll go into the chat and put the link so that we are all on the same page. I'm going to be live reacting to it on YouTube. I haven't watched it yet because I wanted all of us to watch it together. And yeah, I'm very excited. Please like, subscribe, share, guys. Please, please, please. Your continued engagement is what's helping me grow my channel. So please don't underestimate. Like, I feel like momentum has really slowed down. But you know what? We'll talk about it. So when let me just post. For those, do you guys have the link? Do you want me to post the link in the chat for the YouTube? Please let me know. You know what? I'll do it anyway. Let me see if I can. I think YouTube has just become just unbearable, really. It's a very unstable platform. Do you guys please let me know in the chat? Do you have the link? Okay. Ready, guys? Are we ready to react? Let's do it. So I'm going to say, count down, literally, guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's react.
That one. Yeah, they're just the great. It's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you. We spend so much of our life trying to prove something. To prove that you're enough. To prove that you're pretty enough. To prove that you're smart enough. To prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game. And if you can't see it, I don't need to prove to you why that's your loss. Like, because I know that I'm a great friend. And I know the kind of mom I am. And I know the kind of human being I am. And I know how I show up. And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love. So, you know, worthiness, maybe part of worthiness comes when you stop having to feel like you're in the prove it game.
Hallelujah. I am getting emotional right now. Getting out of the prove it game.
What do you guys think? I agree.
Yeah.
Feels like joy, tastes like freedom. Megan, Duchess of Sussex, in her first ever podcast interview. It's happening! It's happening!
Sorry, guys, I will be pausing because it's not a live stream, so we can talk and compensate. Please post in the chat. Please let me know your thoughts. Yeah.
This week we will hit the 100.
Oh no, sorry about that. That was me. My bad. Apologies.
We spend so much but game. I know how I show up.
Hallelujah. I am Sussex in her first ever podcast interview. It's happening! It's happening!
Oh, the roses are coming back in.
They're coming back in. Yes, they're coming back in strong.
Whenever I see Megan, I always think of my garden that I haven't bothered to do anything
It made me
to.
cry. Good thing I have no makeup on.
You look so pretty.
I've not like done a show with no makeup since my 1,000 QVC shows.
Do you think I have? What are you talking about?
You look exactly the same though. These are some of the hot questions that everyone wants to know. Talk about your name. Do you use Markle anymore? What's your morning routine look like? Would you ever write another book?
People are often curious if I'm going to write a memoir.
Would you ever run for office? Can you give us
Oh, sorry, that was a trailer. Oh, for goodness sake. Why did you stop playing the trailer?
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know.
It was right here. I had it. Oh, the one. That was me, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Let's get on with it. Yeah.
Welcome to the Jamie Kern Lima Show.
Oprah, how have you defied the
Oh my
odds
God. Just get on with the interview.
exactly and authentically as we are?
We're
So,
starting.
in the studio today, I have my favorite rocking chairs for the first time ever. You are invited. Come as you are. Cozy up, lean in, and get ready. This is the worldwide premiere of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, in her first ever podcast interview, and she's doing it with you and me today, right here on the Jamie Kern Lima Show.
I promise I won't rock too much.
They don't really rock that much.
Well, we're professionals.
We're professional rockers.
Jamie Kern Lima's her name.
Everybody needs Jamie Kern Lima in their life.
Jamie Kern Lima.
A special. This is your first ever podcast interview. Thank you for trusting.
Isn't that wild?
It's wild. Thank you for trusting me.
Yeah.
I know it's taken so long to start, but I just want to celebrate the fact that a lot of people in the Royal Rota are pissing themselves with frustration right now. This is secretly what they've all wanted, that exclusive interview.
To be here. You haven't seen any of the questions ahead of time, and we're in our sweats, and you have your Archie and Lily on your
Yeah,
amazing.
I made that on Etsy last year. It's faded, but this is what I would wear if I come to your house.
All the
It's
time.
Same thing.
And you look the exact same with no makeup as makeup, and we're just
that's very.
and you still love me even when we get together. If I haven't showered, it's still all the same. And so today is special, and I want to just open up by, because we've had so many conversations about this where, like, we've talked about how special and important it is for friends to check in on each other and say, are you okay? And I think so many women watching and listening, they maybe are the strong one in their family, or they're the one that has it all together, or they're the one everyone goes to for advice, or they're maybe like crushing it at work, and on the outside everything looks great, and so people just assume they're great. Like, they just assume they're great. So my very first question, because I think in friendship it's so important, and I think so many people also have this question for you is, Megan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Today, which, by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous friend. You show up for your friends. Today, I just get to talk about you, which I'm excited about. But how are you doing? There's so much going on.
Good. I'm good. There's it's a lot of pinch me moments right now, and at the same time, I think because I'm so busy with so many different things, and for each of those projects, to mention the show or the podcast or the brand, the business, the most important thing that I work on every day, my practice, is trying to really integrate it, to integrate the joy, to integrate, like we say, like, you have to be thankful. Like, yes, you're thankful. Yeah, I'm thankful, but I have to go to this next meeting. It's like, no, can you just take a minute to really, like, signal and cue that, happy, thank you, more, please. This feels really good. This is what I worked so hard for. So that's my practice, of being still in the midst of how busy it is. But I'm happy. And the kids are healthy, and H is great. And so, that's the stuff that fills my cup. But I'm trying to also enjoy these big wins right now.
Yes.
Enjoy them.
I remember one of the few things I regret about my journey building a cosmetics is I was just like, oh my gosh, I almost couldn't believe everything happening, and also I was so busy. And when I look back, I'm like, I forgot to have fun, and I forgot to celebrate it. And this morning I was talking to your husband, and I said, this is going to be my goal, is this is her favorite interview ever. And he goes, well, my goal is you guys just have fun. Just have fun. And I'm like, you're right. Do you feel like you're able to have fun being so busy right now?
I think so. And also, it depends on how you define fun.
Yeah.
Right? So when we're in our 20s, fun is something very different than now. Now fun is we go have a really nice dinner and drink some yummy wine, or fun is just, can we just carve out a couple hours? Well, last week, though I had lots of meetings, I made it a point to still go and see a Broadway show. Seen a show? I hadn't seen a Broadway show in so long. We saw Hamilton when Lin-Manuel.
Sorry for interrupting this, but I want to quickly say something. A lot of people say Megan, when they try to, because they found that all the misinformation they spread online doesn't work, because we all see through it. All of us see through it, even the haters. They just feed into it because they are using this as an outlet for themselves, or they're making money from it. people will say, "Oh well, why do you like Megan so much? She doesn't have any black friends, or she doesn't. You don't see her showing up for black people as if we're stupid." And I'm like, Megan went to watch Gypsy because she probably because well she wanted to go, and whether she planned it or intentionally or not, or even if it was intentional, Audrey McDonald spoke up very publicly in support of her years ago. So to me, if showing up in her way is because again, we don't know these people's personal lives, but showing up because her attending that show brought a lot of publicity to it. So to me, people that say Megan doesn't have any friends, doesn't support any black anything because she goes to podcasts with a white woman or her friends that we tend to see mainly appear to be she has an interesting she has a diverse social group, right? I just want people to remember that Megan actually shows up for people, and I love that they are saying it. Sorry, I won't interrupt again.
And they came to London for a premiere, but that still, I probably haven't seen a Broadway show for over a decade. And it was so energizing to watch. And for me, that was a really great experience of fun, but also affirmation that.
Sorry, Beverly. The reason why I can't show it live is I don't know. YouTube has become very aggressive with copywriting, and I did not want to block the experience. But I am. You know what? Let me. I was going to do it before, but let me post the chat. Let me post the link in the chat. Bear with me.
Why is this lighting me up so much to watch creativity in action? It's like, oh, because that's what I get to do again. That's what I'm doing with all the projects I'm working on. Like, I had missed being creative, and I had missed being able to just have my hands in the granular of time-coded edits and bringing a vision to life. And when you watch artists do that and do that with such passion, I think it was just the most inspiring. But that for me was fun. So yeah, carving that out and not being inspired. That for me was fun. Yes, you can go to New York. Yeah. You can make time to do that and go with friends, and you could go have a fun dinner, and still all the rest of it will be there, and you can still hit your deadlines, and actually you might hit them even better because you feel full and balanced.
Yeah. I saw so many photos different people had posted from you at the Broadway show. I saw little girls crying.
Oh.
Little girls so excited to meet you.
You're so sweet.
You and I are great friends. And also for any interview I ever do, I prep like crazy. And one of my favorite parts was just reading so many letters and posts and messages of little girls who are like, oh wow, like either whether it's they're talking about your humble beginnings or talking about their dreams, and like through you and through everything you've done, they believe it's possible. Whether it's to be have a very different life than the one they were raised in, or to launch a business. How do you feel about that?
I take it really seriously.
Yeah.
I think I always check in with my 11-year-old self.
Yeah.
And how important it is to have people that you look up to and role models. I'll tell you, oh gosh, how silly. You'll think this is a very bizarre example, but when I was 13, my first job was at a frozen yogurt place called Humphrey Yogurt. Great name. And that was in the 90s. So what were the big shows and things that were on then? Baywatch.
Nice.
So it was like Carmen Electra, Jenny Gar, like all these people, Yasmin Bleeth. And I was taking the trash out from my job, and I see Yasmin Bleeth. And I cannot believe I'm seeing Yasmin Bleeth, and I'm holding this bag of trash. And I was like, the courage that it took for me to go up to her.
Yeah.
And I went up to her and I said, hi, I love you in this soft and dry deodorant commercial. That's all that could come out of my mouth. And she was so gracious. This is such a pivotal moment for me because I never knew I was going to become an actor or someone that people would go up to.
Yeah.
But this moment was so influential for me because she turned around and she goes, hi, sweetheart, what's your name? First thing I learned, I was like, I'm Megan. And that moment, I was like, she cares to know what my name is. And then she's like, hi, I'm Yasmin. I know who she is, but she introduced herself. All those years later, no one teaches you how to be an actor once the show becomes successful. Yeah. No one teaches you what to do when people recognize you.
Yeah.
That moment with Yasmin Bleeth taught me how important it was for someone to make me feel seen and not brushed off. And she might have been asked 100 times that day for a picture or anything else. And it always stayed with me where I go, hi, what's your name? Good to meet you. I'm Megan.
You always do that. I see you do that all the time.
Yes, because I know how much it means.
Yeah.
So I guess for like, that's a really small example of at this scale. I check in with my young girl self because I want to know how I would want to feel in that moment.
Yeah.
I want to know who I would want to look up to in that moment and how I could mimic that behavior or echo that. And yeah, it's a big privilege. It's a big privilege. It comes with a lot of responsibility. And I want everyone to feel like they matter.
Yeah. Do you think our lives are divinely ordered, or like our steps are divinely ordered when you think about that moment and sort of like seeing that example, and now it's part of your life all the time?
Someone said to me last year when I sat down, they said, well, this is your soul contract. You signed up for this. You signed up for this before you were here. It's like, well, I didn't read the fine print.
Oh,
Okay?
bless her.
To be clear, like, can I redline this and amend the small print because I signed up for this? You're like, no, you signed up for this. You signed up for this. This is your hand and this is your lap around the sun or whatever you want to look at it as, because you can do this. And I guess on days that are hard, that's really grounding and affirming to remember. And then some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this life? I would have never predicted it, but I'm grateful for it, even on the hardest days.
Yeah.
Even on the hardest days.
In my life, I have so many friends of all different faiths. I have friends that love everything. I have one of my friends who's the strongest Catholic I know, also sees every psychic, every meeting. Like, she's like, God made them too. We're going to cover our bases and all the things.
That's funny because most people one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm so open. Like, I've had so many different people on the show. Obviously, I'm pretty open about my faith and how much I believe in God. And, I wanted to ask you this also just in the beginning. I feel like why I'm so grateful this show is connecting with so many people is because it's just everyone connecting with so many people is because it's just everyone connecting with so many people is.
We spend so much of our life trying to prove something. They are just sending love and checking in, which
including in magazines or online. We need to pause for a super brief break, and while we do, take a moment to share this episode with every single person that you know who this could. And I was like, so I want to ask you this question because your trust is such a sacred thing. Anybody's trust is a sacred thing. So why did you say yes to doing this show?
because it's you. And to me, that means, of course, I trust you.
Yeah.
But because I think you feel really confident that it was divinely ordered. Maybe all of this, our friendship, you becoming our neighbor, the depth of our friendship, and then these opportunities that we both have to be able to uplift each other and celebrate the work that we're doing. But to have never done a podcast, I mean, and then to say, great, let's do it. Like, literally, let's let people who are watching this feel like they're just sitting with us as at your house as we would do it. Great, we've done drop off. Okay, the day is done. The kids are in the bath. Can we just carve out time and sit and relax? And I liked the idea of being able to be so authentically myself with someone who knows me in such a deep and profound way. And I think that's where you can meet people on a really, really pure, connected level. When you were saying, like, do you want to just do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great, let's let them see us. See our friendship, see us, see what it's really like.
Our friendship has been such a journey. And what I mean by that is, when I sold it to L'Oreal, and even before then, one of the things that caught me off guard was when we were then part of L'Oreal, so many celebrities entered my orbit. So a lot of them wanted contracts with L'Oreal, which was why. But it was this whole thing in worlds, and I've seen I've seen how the press is part of all the things. Getting to know you for who you truly are, why I felt so passionate about this is like, I want people to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna get emotional if I talk about it, but like that's my intention, and I think that's what I feel called to do in this interview. So for me, it feels divinely ordered for that reason. Is like, I feel, I think that it's a gift to celebrate my friend with the world, and I think I've seen a lot of things in my life. I've never seen anything like what you go through on a daily basis.
I know.
I have never seen anything like it.
I know.
I think what's so beautiful is when people connect, who are listening or watching, connect with the truth, and they'll know it's true in their soul when they hear and listen to this, and that's what I think is so special. And so
I love that, and I appreciate it because, if it's, the newness of our friendship, you're able to see that and think about the friends I've had for a really long time and their experience of watching it and going, oh my gosh. And then people that I reconnect with all these years later who literally can go, but you're the same.
you're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And how hard that is when I'm like, but I'm the same. But that's not what gets clicks or sells papers, so they need to do something else. But you're like, hey guys, I'm still here doing the same stuff.
I'll never forget, you and I were at a business conference together.
Amy's.
And Amy Griffin's, our friend Amy Griffin's. And afterwards we got back, and I think there was like lots of different just group photos from all the different people there on social media. No big deal. And I'd spoken at it, you were so supportive, all the things. Get back, I'm like, great. All of a sudden,
You told me about this.
within like I'm so glad you don't see it. So within 5 seconds, there was thousands of articles. I was like, and what was wild to me about it was like, none of them were true. And I was like watching this, I'm like, this is wild. I'd never experienced that before. And I thought I'd seen everything. I really did. And then I remember one of my aunts called me, and she's like, I'm so sorry, are you okay? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I heard that you and Megan were in a huge fight. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, she's amazing. What are you talking about? And she was literally so worried for me that maybe, like, because we got in a big fight. I'm like, huh?
I know.
And it was wild to me that, regular, and she's a teacher. Like, she's not looking at all this stuff. So regular people are getting these articles everywhere. And it's thousands of them.
Yeah.
Thousands daily.
Yes.
And, like, none of these are true.
Yeah, we didn't get into a fight.
No, we've never been involved. We had the best time.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it was the most empowering, inspiring,
I know.
And I'm just watching this, and so it was interesting because, nothing surprised me. We've all heard about tabloids for years. None of that surprised me. But what surprised me was, it was the first time I was part of it, to see just how absolutely incongruent it is from the truth, and then also to see how other people get it, so I was just like,
Yeah, and how it breaks through.
yes.
And that people
Yes.
can't decipher what's real or what's not.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think it's really hard for people to understand that, even in this day and age, that things can be printed that just aren't true. I think that's really hard
Yeah.
to wrap your head around, especially at the volume that it happens when it comes to me.
How often do you see stories, whether they're in magazines or online? We need to pause for a super brief break, and while we do, take a moment to
Sorry, guys, while the advert is going, I'm loving this. I'm loving that they're calling it be blunt to talk about it, because I hate when they walk around. I'm like, nah, talk about it. Let's hear her reaction to it so that average people can be like, yes, this is BS. And I'm glad that somebody that they wrote about is actually saying, no, it was a lie. Wonderful.
love share this episode with you, I want to welcome you to the Jamie Kern-Lima Show podcast family. Thank you so much for being here. And can you take 2 seconds and do me a favor? Please hit the subscribe or follow button on the app that you're listening or watching on. Thank you so much. It truly means so much to me. You can also get inspiration into your inbox from me for free. You can just join my newsletter community. It's at jamiekernlima.com. Also, this incredible podcast episode today, it's not just for you and me. Please share this with every single person that you know who might need some inspiration today or perhaps a boost in their self-belief.
Yeah.
Because what you're about to hear can truly impact mine, yours, and their lives too.
I am so excited for this book. You know why? Because
Okay, while the adverts are going. So yeah, guys, as we were saying, right? I have, and this is something I'm glad that everybody she talks to calls it out because it's insane. I told for those of you who remember or who've seen my video, you remember that the first video I put out, I clearly said the reason I got into this was it just is insane. Every day, every time this woman breathes, they lie, they spread misinformation. Megan was standing at a door. Megan tore down that door. How dare she? Like, come on now. I mean, it's not doing anything to her, thank goodness, but the volume of it, and she's right, the volume, the sheer volume of it, you'll be surprised. I'm pretty sure people who hate Megan online, probably I'm sorry, let me be clear, they are cycles, but a lot of the normal everyday people have probably just never had a chance to like listen to her, you know. So I'm glad that they're doing this. I'm glad this lady's voice is very soft and comforting. And yeah, I think it's honestly, I love this podcast. I love it already. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is exactly, I want to hear more from Megan. If she prefers doing podcasts rather than doing press, I'm all for it. This is great. I don't know. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the chat. I'm loving reading your chats and your responses. And yeah, shout out to them. Oh, okay. And guys, I wish I could win the lottery so I could move to Montecito. So beautiful. This is nice. I'm enjoying this. She should do more like this. Do more like this. I'd love it. Guys, please don't forget to make a say hello in the chat. Reach out in the chat. If you don't mind the super chat, that's nice too. No pressure if I know people are struggling, but yeah, it's just so nice to have all of you here. It's nice to be back on live, and it's nice to use Megan's first podcast as a way to come back to live. So I'm very happy to be here, frankly, and to be with all of you. Wow, this adds along. Okay. Okay.
See stories, whether they're in magazines or online.
I just have created such a strong boundary for myself. And even when people are like, no, but it's a good one. It's like, there was this quote that I had up in my trailer when I was on Suits, talk about being a soothsayer, or if it's divinely ordered. How on earth would this be the quote that I had printed up in my trailer? And I was on that show for almost 7 years. And it says, I've already settled it for myself, so flattery and criticism go down the same drain, and I'm quite free.
Guys, I'm not even joking. I said this to someone and it came from Megan. I literally said it to someone. And the reason I feel comfortable in any space, every space I enter, is exactly that quote that I got from Megan. I just wanted to make that. Sorry, I just had to say it because I'm so glad she said it again.
And it's a very hard thing to put into action to actually integrate.
Yeah.
But it's become so ingrained in my mind because it was there before it actually applied to me on a level like this. I've really tried to distance myself from all of it, and that has challenges too. It does, you know, I'm oblivious to a lot of things, but that allows me to live my life really authentically, make choices authentically. But it also allows me to really detach from the outcome. I go, I can just show up, I can put good work out there, I feel confident with what we've created, and then let it go. So to answer your question, maybe 1% of what's in the world I would see, and only if it's brought to me and said, like, you should really read this, you will learn something from it, or this is really good insight, or I think you'll appreciate how this writer or journalist really wants to get the story right, or the text of like, hey, just Sending love and checking in. And you're like, your hackles go up. About what? What now? What is it now? What are they reading now? Why are they sending love and checking in?
God.
Yeah.
And you can get yourself a little bit nuts with it, as opposed to maybe they are just sending love and checking in, which is why your voice notes are helpful, because I can always hear your tone.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, I'm always like, are you enjoying this?
Yeah.
Like, are you celebrating? You remember, I didn't celebrate that much. Are you celebrating?
Are you celebrating? You have to celebrate. You have to enjoy this. Huge. This is huge.
This is huge. It's big. It's big.
Thank you for the super chat, Lona.
Big. It's big. You just launched As Ever. Sold out. Everything sold out in under an hour.
Everything. Yeah.
And
5 minutes.
well, and so many entrepreneurs, they don't realize how hard it is until they do it. And the world now can see these wins, which is really exciting. But you've been working so hard. Like, you've been working so hard for so long. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's all coming, like, everything is blossoming right now.
Yes. Well, and with actors, that happens a lot too, where they say, this overnight success story. And they're saying, I have been on this grind and auditioning for 10 years and hearing no after no after no after no after no. So yes, 10 years and a night.
Yeah.
But to the world, it's just, what has she been doing? Does she work? As opposed to, oh my gosh, I worked so hard, and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard. And I'm still working hard, right? The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done.
Yeah.
It means we're working on replenishment, and what are the next SKUs, and what's the next tranche of products, and what's the timing on that, and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line, and what's the cadence of it, and what's the photography that we want to do, and what do I want to wear for those shoots, while also editing all the time-coded notes for season 2 of With Love, Megan, and then being in edits for the podcast, and being a mom and a wife and a friend.
Yeah.
Those are all jobs. I mean, I love being that busy, but I do think it's really interesting when people have no sense of what goes into the thing.
Yeah.
And then when the thing seems as though it's like, oh, wow, huge. The thing's not done.
Right.
The finish line was really the starting line.
Yes. Yes. I feel it's so funny. And, in the past, 15 years, I've had so many people, whether I mentor them or they're mentors of mine, and then they're going to start a business in a different way for the first time, or they're friends, and they are so excited to launch a business. Then they do, and they're like, oh, it never stops. When you have and everyone listening who has this experience, whether you've launched your own business or you are right now, it never stops. Like, you got to be ready. Like, I feel like entrepreneurship and parenting, those two things are like the hardest. You shared in a New York Times interview recently, you said that you need to work and you love to work. Can you share more about that?
Well, I've loved New York Times cooking and New York Times food for a long time, so that was a fun one for me. And I need to work because it fills my cup. Also, we need to work for practical reasons. You need to work. Pay your bills. You need to work.
Yes.
But it fuels me in such a huge way.
Your eyes sparkle when you're talking about creating and watching other people create, like at the Broadway show.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And that's what, and I also love being with a crew and a team. So Suits, that was 7 years of my life, and that's a crew of over 200 people. It's a lot of people on a team. And even on the series that I just did for Netflix, when people are saying, why wouldn't you film this in your own kitchen, at your own house? It's a crew of 80 people.
Yeah.
I
Would you
mean,
have 80 people in your house when your kids are coming home from school or for lunch? No, I want my home and my kitchen to be a sacred place that my kids associate with me cooking for our family.
Yeah.
So finding a place and really trying to not have to explain those choices, but be really confident in the choices that I've made that are in the best and highest good for me and for.
sorry for interrupting. I keep on saying it, but I hope the haters who are going to obviously watch this, understand what she is saying. But we all know that they will, but they'll pretend like they don't. Why the hell would she film in her house? What's wrong with you people? Okay, I won't say anything again.
For my family.
Yeah.
I've always loved to work.
I remember when It Cosmetics was in my living room, and I had no separate, my whole home felt like an office for so long because we couldn't afford a separate place. And then when we finally could, I was like, okay.
Did you like it? Or did you miss having it at home?
No, I don't miss it. I don't miss that part of it because Megan, I had thousands of product samples all over my living room. It looked like an episode of like
Oh, I've got
storage
hamburgers.
wars or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my
Um,
gosh, I look like a Costco or something. There's just boxes. So if you need
Everywhere.
more. Yes, and then also you have to keep in mind, so that the actual brand and business is happening with all of these products that we've tested and tested and tested to scale it to what I'm making on my stove.
Yeah, you're a hard worker. There are times we get together and I'm like, I just want to have DoorDash come in. And you're like, let's make something. And I'm like, I know, I just want a glass of wine and to hang out. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, but it's like, it's in you. I was going to ask you that actually because, you know, just to share some kind of fun moments, because I really want to take people behind the scenes into this. The first time, so I know you look at all the data, it is impossible to have a true friendship or a true relationship with anybody, a true connection if you don't show up fully authentically. Yes. And I remember one of the times you're at my house and I've seen all the beautiful stuff you make, and it's just like it's in you. You just like make these things, and you and I were raised. You and I were raised with TV dinners on a TV tray.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and somehow you just it's like in you. And I remember you came over. I'm like, I'm gonna make Megan a charcuterie tray, which I just learned that word a few years ago, charcuterie. Anyways, like I'm making a charcuterie tray. So I put it all together and I looked at it and I remember you came over and I was like,
very proud of you. The effort was A for effort.
It was an A for effort. And my daughter, who is 6, can make one way better than I make. She loves to cook. But I just remember just being like, if we're gonna have a real friendship, like this is who I am. And I remember you just loved it. And then I asked you, I'm like, okay, just so I know, what would you do to like make it like a little bit, you know, more, you know, aesthetically pleasing. And then like I felt like somehow you had this magic wand, and in like 10 seconds you go in my pantry, you go in the fridge, and you like do these things, and I look down at it and I'm like, what in the world? Like it looks like all of a sudden, like it looks like a cover of a magazine. Like it's just in you. And so 2 questions. One is, you know, where did that come from? And but also probably a year ago now, I remember someone else's kid falling on the playground. Tons of people there. You're the first one to run over there. You don't even think about it. It's like you're over there, you're taking care of that child, like right away. I've seen you do this in multiple places. You know, you speak of strawberries. When I was like super stressed out one time, I had in-laws and all these people visiting.
You have a very full house.
Very full house. And all of a sudden I get word that, you know,
drop something off.
All of a sudden, you dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream, just to see if that helps lighten my load. It was like as if you're in my shoes, feeling what I was feeling, without me even needing to tell you anything, and you're doing something that adds value to my life. Yeah. And when I see the joy, like my daughter loves cooking, and you all of a sudden,
she makes very good charcuterie boards.
Oh my gosh, yes she does. Yes she does.
And she's what, 6 years old.
She makes 6 years old.
Amazing charcuterie boards.
And she wants to be a chef when you drop off this board that says Chef Wonder on it. Like, so do you feel, because I think also when people watch with Love Megan, whether they know how to do any of that stuff or not, whether they're learning by watching the show, or I've read a lot of people also just love it because it just helps them feel calm. They don't want to watch whatever's going on in the news. They just want to like
I'm people.
You know, be in that world. Knowing how to do all these things, like, is it a passion you've studied hard for, or is it just sort of like this innate talent?
I think I have a really classic aesthetic in terms of how I see things. I've never ever considered myself artistic, so it's really odd to voice that now as all of this, as people are like talking about my handwriting or how I put a plate together or how I put an outfit together. I've never thought of it like I don't paint. I would love to learn how to knit. Oh my gosh, I just can't figure it out. I've tried forever. I'm as bad as knitting as I am at playing tennis. I'm just terrible at certain things. And I found an old report card from when I was at Hollywood Schoolhouse. Maybe I was probably Archie's age. Oh yes, because our kids got their report cards, so I was thinking about memory lane with that. I'll get back to your question in a second, but you'll like this, where you're going through, and that's when grades weren't A, B, C, D at that age.
Yeah.
It's right, like satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or I don't know what the best one would be. But
Thank
it came
you,
to
Mona.
ability to throw and catch a ball, not applicable. Oh my gosh. It's like, well, I'm a great runner if someone's chasing me. Otherwise, just not the most athletic. So there are certain things that we have built in as strengths, and then there are certain things that are opportunities for growth. And I love when things look beautiful. And even when you don't have a lot, you're able to make things look beautiful. And I think about small apartments that I've had, or, small tiny kitchens that I had, or even when I had my first apartment, and I went to Northwestern in Evanston, and when I moved out of the sorority that I lived in for a couple years, then I had my own little apartment. It's tiny, great little studio apartment. And that's when I would sit there and watch Food Network all the time and learn how to make certain things, and make really like how to make a pasta more special, and you would see plating. You would see someone drizzle the olive oil on top. And somehow it elevated it beyond what I thought were, which still are, by the way, kind of like great dinners at Olive Garden, right? Like loved a never-ending pasta bowl. But no one was drizzling and finishing a plate. No one was making it present as beautifully as it was going to taste. And I loved watching people get excited about that when they'd see it. And I guess that translates into a lot of different things, but it's attention to detail. And what does attention to detail for me mean? It's kind of rooted in what people's experience of it is going to be. So it makes them happy to receive it. It makes me happier to give it to them. It does. Like, I knew when I dropped off that strawberry, it wasn't even preserves. It didn't have time to set. I just made a quick one because we had a lot of strawberries at the time. And I heard what you were saying and how many people were there. And I just knew that even if we never talked about it, that it would brighten your day in what was probably a really overwhelming day. That made me feel excited at the possibility of being able to have some offering that would make you feel good. And I guess over the years, like, again, back to wanting to feel seen and wanting people to feel seen, it shows that you're really listening to what their needs are. It shows that you can show up for them no matter what you have going on. And a lot of that's probably doing the things for other people that I had missed for so long, when you don't feel seen or when you feel lonely and you just want someone to like reach out in a meaningful and thoughtful way, not with a huge gesture, but something of like, no, I really I see you. I'm thinking about you over there. Tiny, tiny things that really just move the needle. It can change someone's life. So yeah, it brings me a lot of joy to do that. That to me is not work. That's complete joy.
You sharing that reminds me of a moment. I remember, we have a lot of fun in the rocking chairs. Yeah, we have all the things. Yeah. And also, I'm thinking about one moment where I was having the worst day and I was so sad. And I remember you canceled a date night, came over, sat in the rocking chairs. And I was like, sorry. I was like, I was like crying. I had no makeup, I had my bright red rosacea, and I was like, ah. And
I could just tell you just need I was like, I don't think so. We have a date night. You're like, okay. Like,
what you just shared is the most powerful advice. It's like when you have felt unseen, or you have felt like maybe you had needs in friendships or this or that. It's like be the friend that you want in your life, and you do that. Your close friends and family, so many of them call you M and Harry H.
Yes.
How did that start? And tell me about that.
Probably at the beginning of us dating.
Aww.
When everything was in code.
Code, yeah.
Right, people didn't know we were dating for, talk about memory lane, so long ago. I mean, it'll be our 7-year wedding anniversary soon. I couldn't tell anyone who I was dating. And
The hits are
so I think
depressed.
on a letter basis.
Yeah.
And then it stuck.
It's stuck.
It stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. And still to this day.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll all be on a play date, or we'll be somewhere. There'll be tons of people there, and he'll say M, and you'll say H, and your friends say M, and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it? Like it's just natural.
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot. I love nicknames.
You are such a big proponent of women, of female founders.
Yes.
For my birthday, you shared this incredible handbag by this amazing company. You recently wore a Valencia key bracelet, and
Yes.
holy moly, her business. She shared her business exploded. She had an 11,000% increase in sales, like for weeks straight. Everything sold out.
I'm so
And
glad.
so, there's this thing known as the Megan effect.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really great when specifically it can help uplift brands that have a great ethos and female
Exactly.
founders. And,
Yeah.
there was a long time where I wasn't out talking. So if you couldn't hear me, how could I be heard through what I was wearing, if that's what people were focusing on, or the choices I was making that you didn't have to say a word, but it would move product for small companies or allow, even when we were living in the UK, a small company in Scotland able to, I don't know, hire 50 more employees, or small businesses who would take women out of positions of being trafficked and instead give them jobs. And by wearing those jeans, I knew it was going to allow them to save more women. So all of those things end up becoming a touch point that's really, really high value to me. And then being able to hear the stories of how it has helped them or their businesses. And even just, it could have been the day that they were going to give up. Could have been the day that they were just going, why am I doing this? It's not worth it. And if I can come in with a little sprinkle of fairy dust just by wearing a bracelet or doing something, and that changes the course of their business, that's a huge honor to be able to have that kind of impact for someone.
Yeah.
Someone that most of the time I won't even know.
Yeah. I never ever realized that during seasons where maybe you felt like you couldn't use your voice, that was a way to use your voice.
Yeah, to still be heard and allow other people's voices to be heard.
Yeah.
That was that's always meant something to me. And then, because I love a handwritten note, when I would end up getting handwritten notes from people from all over the world saying what it's done for their business. Because again, if I'm not reading press, even back then, someone would say like, oh yeah, that sold out, but you had no metrics for it. What was helpful is a letter would get to me. I'm very sentimental, so I have most of them saved. Just like, wow, how it really changed their lives. That, to me, it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. Well, I know you were raised in California.
Yeah.
And you've now lived in a few different parts of California. What are your favorite parts of California?
Oh, I should be a California tourism ad because I love this state so much. I used to watch those Visit California commercials. And I remember when I started auditioning, I was like, I just want to be in a Visit California commercial. I just want to be there talking about how great this state is. I just love that within 2 hours you can have access to snow or beach or desert. I love the diversity of it. We have an amazing food scene. I feel really, really lucky to have been born here. I love just being able to connect to outside and outdoors and being able to hike. And I think there's something really powerful about being connected to nature and the elements. Even if you don't go to the beach, just seeing the water, I think, is really powerful. So I like the openness that it brings.
It's so funny. My best friend Jackie and you are both the best hikers. And
oh my God, when we went on the hike.
The time I went on the hike with you, I'm like, so can you slow down?
No, the best was like, we're going on a hike, like a hike. And Jamie gets out of the car, she's like, yeah, and you have your little to-go coffee
My
cup.
to-go coffee.
do you want to put that in the car? Are you ready to hiking? And I remember you said like, oh, when someone said a hiking, you're just walking around a reservoir or something.
I thought so. I've gone hiking with friends and it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like around it. We go and I'm like, I have my to-go coffee. And, my rosacea is red right now with no makeup on. But by the time you and I got to the top,
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
You did great.
Oh my gosh.
You did great.
Yeah, you were so patient. And then I feel it's so funny. It reminded me, my best friend Jackie of 25 years. I was a waitress at Denny's. She was a waitress across the street at a steakhouse. And she's like you, we'll go hiking. And she can do it twice. Ooh, in the time I do it once.
Oh.
And she's not even sweating. Yeah. And I'm like drenched in sweat.
You're glistening. You're just glistening.
I'm glistening. I'm glowing.
Glowing. I'm glowing. All blown up.
You know what I want to do? I want to go to Denny's with you and show you my favorite things that I ate when
the Grand Slam breakfast.
All of it. And I'll drizzle fancy syrup on the pancakes.
Really?
For you, I will do that. You have so many amazing big wins right now, things you've been working so hard on. And your husband just shared publicly for the first time. He said, I'm so happy for my wife and fully support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do.
When did he say that?
This week. It's everywhere in the press. Yeah, it's beautiful. But how does it? So okay, so you don't know this. Okay, so you're hearing this for the first time.
That's sweet.
I love that you're hearing this for the first time. He says, I'm so happy for my wife and fully supportive and support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do. How does that make you feel?
Oh, he's such a great partner. I feel that, right? I feel that every day in how supportive he's been and is. But I didn't know he said that. So that's really nice because I think having a partner, I mean, I asked you this when you were on my podcast, like, do you think that you would have been able to get through all the no's and the challenges if you were doing it solo, if you didn't have the support of Paulo? And there's something that is not to be taken for granted when you have a partner and a spouse who is just so behind you. I mean, H, that man loves me so much. And look what we've built. We've built a beautiful life and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. And, and I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers when you get to the final level. And what's the goal in Super Mario? They're like, slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband. He's just out there just constant. Like he's just going to do whatever he can to make sure that our family is safe and protected and we're uplifted and still make time for date nights.
Are you in love now more than ever, more than you've ever been?
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine at the beginning, everyone has like butterflies and then we immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate, like 6 months into dating. So now 7 years later, when you have a little bit of breathing space, you can just enjoy each other in a new way. And that's why I feel like it's more of a honeymoon period for us now.
Oh, the haters are going to be so
Do you
proud.
think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
I have a letter.
He's also a fox, if you haven't noticed. He's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
I love that your eyes are sparkling right now.
Oh. You have a letter from him?
I have a letter from your husband and your kids.
Oh.
It's actually from them.
Was this in the press also?
Via
No,
him.
Did this?
No one's ever seen this before.
Okay.
And I would love to share it with you. And if you feel comfortable.
Is this from this morning?
Share it with all of us.
Oh. From Archie and Lily via Papa. We love your cooking. We love your pancakes. And we love your hugs. You're the best mummy and we love you. So sweet. I also love that it's mummy, just very British instead of mommy.
British.
No, yeah, they're the greatest.
And we so it was kind of fun reading that to you about just how much he supports you and how proud he is with everything he's doing with Invictus Games and all the projects he's so passionate about. What are the best ways that you support him that he needs with all of those?
I think a lot of it is being a soundboard, especially because I don't read media or press.
Yeah.
I'm a good barometer of just sometimes maybe just a very removed point of view because I'm only looking at it through the lens of loving him.
Yeah.
What's in his best and highest good? What's in the best interest for us as a family? What will help nurture him and help him find balance?
Yeah.
So I think in that regard, I can hear it through a different lens because my opinion isn't colored by anything other than what I know from him and what I can see for our future. So, I really love making him breakfast. Before I left, I told you Archie's homesick today. So I made him lemon, ginger, manuka honey tea, and he just really wanted bacon. So I made a lot of bacon, and then I made H a breakfast sandwich with a fried egg and good 2 slices of American cheese, all melty, and lots of bacon in there. And
nice. You and I in the rocking chairs,
yes,
have talked a lot about, like mother figures in our lives and
so
our mothers
sweet.
and family. When Lily grows up, what are your hopes that she would share and say about her mother?
Oh, what a great question. I hope she says, I know that they'll feel like, oh my gosh, no one has ever loved someone more than the way our mom loved us. And I put that in practice, that's part of every day how I show up for them. And I read a lot of parenting books. I really want to be good at it. I think a lot of stuff comes naturally, and a lot of stuff you can also we can all use tools. But one of our mom friends, she had said to me last year that she just created sort of secret email addresses for her kids that she'll give to them at some point in their life, and she would just send to them, random pictures, the pictures that you aren't going to put in a frame.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a great time capsule to create for them because I still have scrapbooks and photo albums, but we're past that generation now. And so I created for the kids these email addresses that sort of like names again that you would never guess that I will give them at some point in their lives when they're older.
Hi, Robert.
But before I go to bed, almost every night, I email them.
Wow.
I email because it doesn't have to be a heavy lift, and you email them like, here's your report card from today, or oh my gosh, was it the funniest thing this morning, or here's a picture of you two having breakfast, or here's you playing with the dog. The things that you're not going to frame, the things that you're not going to put pen to paper in a journal, but they will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
I have full body chills right now.
For your whole life. And here's everything and every moment that I wanted to tell you how much I love you and like how proud I am of you, and of all things it's making me emotional. For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much. And that's, I think, the best part about being a mom. And we go back to like a love language or gifts. It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply. And I love being able to see your growth, and I'm just so proud of them.
So beautiful.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that one.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
Right?
Yeah. It's the greatest gift you can give. That's the gift that will cost you nothing, and it will mean everything to your children. You do it for your partner too. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
No, you should do it for the kids.
Yeah, I'm having these like aha moments right now, thinking about doing that, and also about how many people are going to start doing that.
Yeah.
Start doing that because that's so beautiful. And I think about like the closest person to me in my entire life is my mom who adopted me, and when she passed away, like the things she said to me toward the end, when she was basically like, whatever you do in life, don't change. It'd be so sad if you changed. And I'm like, I thought she was always going to say to me like, you can do anything and you can,
Right.
and she's like, basically what she is saying is who you are is enough. Like I felt like seen and loved, and I'm thinking about I'm thinking about your sweet kids when they get that email one day, they just read it and that's there forever. Like that is the most beautiful.
It's time capsule, all the things, and I
And
do a
it's
lot.
your heart every day that you're giving to them in that way.
Yes,
Like it's
and-
your like.
And it becomes
would have kids.
meditative for me too, but also like I do a lot of voice notes of the kids. So I'll just have my phone on as I'm putting them down to bed because their voices are going to change so much. So it's like they went through that stage where they were so little and they would go, "Mama, can I hold you?" Because they didn't know it was like, "Mama, can you hold me?" And I knew one day it would change, but I have it. So I send them those voices like, "Here you are at 2 saying this. Here's you singing a lullaby tonight."
Like you got the voice note and then you emailed it?
Yes. It doesn't have to be a video. It doesn't have to be something. It's just you're capturing these moments, these tender moments that are gonna go by like this. And also, I find that when I do it, like, one of the things with parenting, you watch as you're building their confidence and their self-esteem. A word that I use a lot with them is "yet." And how to reframe things for a kid when like, "I can't do it. I can't do it yet."
Oh,
No, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough yet. And the more that you put into practice these ideas of like, put "yet" at the end of nearly every sentence, and you feel like there's still hope and a promise that you can do it.
Yes.
But when I type that to my children before I go to bed, guess what? Like, I'm teaching that to them or I'm reinforcing that, but I'm also reinforcing it for myself.
Yes.
Like, I don't know yet.
Yet.
I'm not sure.
I was just gonna say that applies to every adult. That applies to me right now, all of us.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, yet.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Yet.
Oh, I love that.
My business hasn't gotten traction. Yet.
Yet.
No one's picked up my book proposal. Yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate. Yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet. I get so many questions about self-worth, like, when am I gonna finally feel worthy? And it's like, yet. Yet. When you talk about self-esteem and all the things that we try so hard to pour into our kids, and you look at the data right now, how 80% of women don't believe they're enough. Like, you look at all of the data or feel unworthy, and it's such a journey. I've gone through such a journey in my own life of like, for the longest time I thought, I just have to accomplish it, like more. I have to do more and win this and do that and do the thing, then I'll feel enough. For you in your life, have you ever felt unworthy?
Oh my gosh, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where the yet comes in.
The yet.
Right?
And what about now? Like, in your life now, do you ever feel unworthy?
Sometimes, not unworthy. Sometimes I feel very self-conscious. I don't know. I think I'm in a very different chapter. We've talked about this when you're out at the Prove It game.
Yes. Will you share more?
I don't know. What were we texting about one night? You texted me something and I said, no, there comes a point where I don't even have that text. And you said, you have to email that text to yourself. You have to remember that. That should go in a book one day.
Yes.
But this idea that we spend so much of our life trying to prove something, to prove that you're enough, you have to prove that you're pretty enough, you have to prove that you're smart enough, you prove that you're a good wife or a good friend, and I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game. Yes. When you get to the place where you feel I don't have to prove anything to you anymore. I don't have to prove that I'm a good person. I don't have to prove to you that I'm a good wife or mom or friend. I don't have to prove that I work hard. And it can be really freeing when you stop playing the prove it game. You're proving nothing to anyone other than to yourself. And that takes a lot of time and that takes a lot of pain, and at least in my own experience. But to just really go, and not with an energy of like, I'm over it, I don't care. No, I care, but I don't have to prove it to you. And if you can't see it, I don't need to prove to you why that's your loss. Like, because I know that I'm a great friend, and I know the kind of mom I am, and I know the kind of human being I am, and I know how I show up. And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love. So, worthiness, maybe part of worthiness comes when you stop having to feel like you're in the prove it game.
Hallelujah. I am getting emotional right now because
Yes,
the
Megan.
number of
Yes.
girls and women who are going to watch this, who are going to just take those words. When you
Yes.
text that to me one day, we're talking about something, and you wrote all that about not being in the prove it game anymore. And I'm just like, this is so profound, and it's so simple, but so profound and so true. And I feel like when every one of us like actually just sees it from that perspective, like, I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a great friend. I know, all the things.
And you
like,
know you did your best.
I did my best. I'm doing my best as a mom.
Yeah.
Getting out of the prove it game, like,
Yeah.
feels like joy, tastes like freedom.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful and so powerful. And I'm thinking about every person listening or watching right now who's going to rewind that part of the show and watch it over and over and over and let it take root, because it's a tool that you can lean on. Because how much time, I think about my own life, how much time I've wasted in the prove it game. Like, I want to make everyone happy, or I want to make sure that they know all the things. And it's like that, yeah, that's so beautiful.
Oh.
And that's going to matter so much to so many people.
I probably texted that to you while I was typing to my kids.
Probably. Can you please start an email account for me and
Sure.
Daily, because you don't have enough going on
I will, though.
with all of your
A really cute, clever name.
with all of your stuff.
Yeah.
I love so much what you and Gwyneth Paltrow did recently.
Oh, how funny.
Because out there, they love to pit women against each other, or compete, or this or that. We need to pause for a super brief break. And while we do, take a moment to share this episode with every single person that you know who this could inspire. Because this conversation can truly be the words and inspiration they need to hear today to keep going, to remember that they matter, and to feel less alone and more enough, more connected, and more worthy.
Yes.
Who you spend time around is so important, as energy is contagious.
Guys, it wasn't that wonderful. I mean, I love this podcast. And even if I take away the fact that it's Megan, this interviewer, Jamie Kern Lima, she's incredible. Jesus. I mean, her energy, not normally I won't lie, I find this a bit, but I love the energy. It's nice, like we have so much cynicism in the world, so much anger, so much frustration, and it's nice, guys. I mean, God, I feel so I feel like somebody was telling me something I needed to hear. That was beautiful. That, I don't need to prove myself to you, to anyone. This is it. And this is what I say. There is a beauty in women of a certain age. When you're above a certain age, when you finally settle into yourself, when you start finally feel comfortable, when you stop trying to fight with everything and try to prove yourself to everyone. I really think, especially for women in our society where women are always fighting against each other, or women are not encouraged to nurture each other, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. Oh, thank you, Lakib. Lovely. Thank you. That's so kind. I love them. I'm a big fan of them. I wish I had done them earlier, but they're here to stay. I want them to get up to my bum. And yeah, I'll keep on doing it. But yeah, it's just guys, beautiful podcast. This is just 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. If Megan does another update podcast, I have no qualms with her coming back to this ladies. This woman's energy is wonderful. It's like a warm blanket. Lovely. Let me know your thoughts. I can see some of your thoughts. I'll be responding to the chat now. But yeah, Miss Jamie or Mrs. Jamie, whatever, these ads are too long. These ads are too long. And the way she talks about her husband, Kingsley, and all the big backs and all the frustrated people in the British media. Ooh, I'm going to enjoy reacting. Oh, it's going to be hilarious. I will drag people in. They're all crying in their house right now.
Did recently.
Oh, how funny.
Because out there, they love to pit women against each other, or compete, or this or that. And we've all seen it. We've all had experience of like that in our own life. And I know that you don't really see almost any of the press, but this thing had been going on.
Well, I did see it. She texted me.
Oh, did she?
Oh my gosh, she's like, she texted me and she said, oh my gosh, like I did this interview and I can't remember verbatim what she said, but she was like, I give up. I don't even know what to say anymore. And I said, well, I didn't hear about it, hadn't heard about it at all. And then, because not because people are hiding things from me, but maybe because it's not something that anyone felt needed to be on my radar.
Yeah.
And I just texted her back. I was like, I hear there's something about like pie. And then we ended up, she was doing something on Instagram. So I ordered some pie on Instacart. We sat there and ate some pie and laughed and caught up a little bit. And then I came back home.
I was so happy when I saw it.
Yes.
People, I think women were really fired up of like, yes, clap back, enough.
Yes, and also because that's who you are.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what I mean? And I loved it.
And also with the sense of humor.
Yeah.
Because it really diffuses so much of it. There's only so many statements you can make or things you can say on the record or this didn't happen or as was like, you guys, like
Enough.
it kind of really defines the age we're living in right now. Or that, if you're saying that was like a week or however long that cycle was going on of this, like that would have kept going, I would imagine. They would find some other iteration of this fake conflict. Yeah. Just like us fighting.
Yeah.
But there is something really disturbing about the need for people to pit, especially women, against each other when you're going, but you're my neighbor and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's wild. So yeah, I was glad that we could just have some fun with it.
I love that you did it.
Yeah.
This is so fun because all the things people know about, we now get to like hear them in your words. So Harry said publicly, so much of what Megan is and how she is so similar to my mom. She has the same compassion. She has the same empathy. She has the same confidence. She has this warmth about her.
Oh, God.
How do you feel about
so
him sharing that?
Oh,
it's beautiful. I wish I could have met her.
I'm feeling viscerally so happy because I feel like people are I feel like they're really here with us in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff about you I had no idea. Like, and I think I know a lot.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
But just like the essence of a person, even one of my friends, Marcus, but Marcus will see certain things and he goes, oh, there's my friend.
Yes.
And gets so excited when you can see me reflected in a way that's the me that you know.
Yes.
And so what a gift that is.
It's just so...
Yeah, letting me be.
Thank you for letting me be. That's like the best thing a friend could ever say to me.
Oh, well, and you think, even as I said it, I was going, wow, growing up, you would hear people like, just let me be. But with a completely different intention and intonation of like, thank you for letting me be.
You made me cry. Good thing I have no makeup on.
You look so pretty.
Oh my gosh, I don't even, okay, so I have not like done a show with no makeup since my 1,000 QVC shows.
Do you think I have? What are you talking about?
You look exactly the same though.
Oh.
You look exactly the same. So, okay, these are some of the hot questions that
very excited
everyone
about
wants
this.
to know.
Oh, okay.
Do you watch the royal shows on TV, like The Crown or Bridgerton or any of them?
I watched Bridgerton.
Yeah?
Bridgerton's a great show. That's a period piece also. And I love Shonda Rhimes shows. So yes.
So much talk about your name. And for me, I'm like, gosh, a lot of families, like when they have to pick up their kids from drop off or have medical records, or I have a lot of friends that don't even still have that name, but they've kept that name because it's important for all the other reasons.
Continuity.
Oh my
Megan
God.
Sussex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Now I heard there are Sussex chickens, and I need to get a couple Sussex chickens to add to my flock. I'm so excited. Got my girls. Yeah.
And so do you use Markle anymore?
No, not since I got married.
Not since you got married.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Good to know. This is what everyone wants to know.
Right.
Okay, what's your morning routine look like?
Well, this morning was different because Archie has a cold, so he's home from school. But I get up at 6:30 and it gives me a minute to, I wish I could say I woke up and meditated. I don't do that. I have the monitors on so I could hear both the kids. They get up at 7. So I give myself a little bit of time to either put on workout clothes, brush my teeth, get both of them up. I get them dressed, get them downstairs, make breakfast. And then if I haven't done their lunch boxes the night before, then do that. I love doing lunch boxes. It makes me very happy. And writing a little note in their lunch boxes. Remember when you were doing your first lunch box? I told you little tips there.
Yep.
And then if I don't have meetings in the morning, then I try to do school drop off. So they're at 2 different schools. So that's our big circuit. So from 6:30 in the morning on drop off mornings for me, I'm not home till 9. So, and then after that, I'll just jump into meetings. And then on other days, then I'll wake up and get them all set. And then our amazing nanny, who's been with us for 5 years, she'll take them to school for us. And then, we always try to, I know that's morning. That's the morning.
That's
That gets you to 9 a.m.
You're a New York Times bestselling author. Would you
So
ever?
are you.
Thank you. Would you ever write another? Twice. Would you ever write another book?
Yes, maybe, for sure. I think, I love right now working on everything in the space of hospitality and home and entertaining and food and those sort of
Ooh, I guess the
tips and
cookbook.
something like that. I think could be really fun. Of course, children's books are great. And then, I think people are often curious if I'm going to write a memoir, but I've got a lot more life to live before I'm there.
Would you ever run for office?
No,
Never.
no,
Never.
never. Oh God, I mean, you could say never. No, I'm not interested in that. No.
Can you give us one hint on something exciting coming up for As Ever?
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, there's so much in development. Let's say this. If it started with what I was just making on my stove, and it starts in your kitchen as these sweet offerings, actually sweet, and then the extension of what do you pair that with? For me, as we've talked about a lot today, what are these small gestures? What are these thoughtful details? What are these ways that you can show up for someone? Hostess gifts and hospitality is a big category that I'm really excited that we're developing. So yeah, lots to come. And more, of course, jam drops.
Yay,
Jam drops, like sneaker drops.
yay.
Just one flavor away.
Jam drops. I've had your jam in my refrigerator all year. No one knows. No one's seen it.
Right.
I've not posted it.
I have so much.
And I just like all of it. Anything you drop is so good. I'm going to speak on behalf of other girls, women, men, etc., who are like me, who try to make a charcuterie board or do something. And you're like looking at it and you're like, what I love is you're doing the work for us. You're doing the work for us.
With As Ever?
With As Ever.
Yep.
You're with As Ever and with your show, but with your products. And I'm telling you, when I built It Cosmetics, that was one thing I was really good at. Because I don't like to do makeup. Like you see my rosacea, nothing ever worked. I knew if it worked for me, it's going to do the work for someone who does not want to learn how to do makeup. One of the things I love most about As Ever, my daughter, who's 6, just made cookies with flour sprinkles.
Yeah.
Like, we look like we know what we're doing.
You do.
I mean, we could open a bakery.
Good.
And it's because you're doing the work for customers in your products.
Wow.
That is huge. That, to me, is like a 1 in a billion key to success.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. It doesn't need to feel complicated.
Yeah.
And that's the piece that I really want to get across is what can you do in your everyday that I don't want to just buy the thing. I do want to have my hands in it.
Yeah.
And that's part of this. When I was doing the kids' birthday parties, I would say, I remember someone's like, are you going to get a planner, a party planner for a 2-year-old's birthday? I don't know. Okay, you could go buy all the stuff. I don't want to buy the stuff, but I also don't have time to make all the stuff. So where's the hybrid? Where's the piece that as a mom or as a friend or as a spouse, you can have your hands in the creation of the joy.
Yes.
Not just the purchase of the joy, but the creation of it. And it's not a heavy lift, that it's enough that you can go like, I did this for you.
Yes. The cookies, we just add butter. I'm like, I've got this.
Just add butter.
I've got this.
Yeah.
I want to read this quote in closing. It's a very famous quote, and I want to read it, and I'm going to try not to get emotional because as your friend, as another woman, as a person who's had the gift of seeing glimpses inside of what you carry and deal with every day, like, I'm so freaking proud of you.
Thank you.
And I just hope I don't know, I'm getting emotional. I hope every girl and woman who's going to listen to this and watch this, who maybe is tempted to sit on the outside and think they don't have what it takes or they can't face the battle that might come with them putting their idea out there or their heart out there or their friendship out there and saying, do you want to be friends? Or their book out there or their story or who they are on social media. They're scared of everything that comes with it. And so, Brene Brown wrote this beautiful book called Daring Greatly. There's this really beautiful quote by Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, inside,
right?
in the arena.
Man in the arena. And I want to read this with a slightly paraphrased version, because one of the things amongst many that I love so much about you is you're in the freaking arena. You are. You're in the arena. And so many girls and women, I have women in my family, multiple generations, who sit back and they're like, gosh, I wish I would have. I wish I could have. Yeah. I wish I put my idea out there. I wish I told that person I forgive them, or I wish I went for it, And so,
or if you're watching Jeopardy, even if you don't know the answer is right, still shout out what you think it could be.
You think it
and
is.
It's okay if it's not right.
Yes. Raise your hand. And I remember for me, it was 6, the first time I knew the answer and I didn't raise my hand in class. And so many of us have moments like that. And then now we're grown-ups and we're on Zoom and we have an idea, but we don't share it just in case. And you are a living, breathing example of going for it. You're putting yourself out there, and anybody living or breathing right now who puts any part of themselves out there, it doesn't matter what it is. It comes with critics, it comes with opposition, it comes with failure, I think about the number of times I failed in growing at cosmetics, or the no's that I got, or the times where it would have been so much easier to give up. Millions of times it would have been so much easier to give up. And you are in the arena. So I want to close on this because I just know there's somebody listening to you and me right now, watching us right now, who needs this in their life.
And we've never talked about this quote. I love this quote. When you said, I was like,
about it.
Irina.
We never talked about it. And when I was literally praying before this interview today, and this is what kept coming to me. And I think that all of us together collectively in our own lives can almost lean into this quote. So this is by Theodore Roosevelt. It's not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong woman stumbles, I'm going to paraphrase here, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the woman who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends herself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if she fails, at least fails while daring greatly. That was incredible. You, my friend. I love you. Thank you for trusting me with your first ever podcast, and with your friendship, and with,
Means a lot, Jamie. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you. I have something for you.
Oh, gosh.
You're the one always giving gifts. Why am I so emotional?
I don't know. Why am I so emotional? But we do kind of always get emotional in the rocking chairs.
It's true. Because we're in the rocking chairs. It's the energy of rocking chair friend. Remember, this episode's not just for you and me. Please share this with
that
every
quote
single
in the
person
end,
that
guys.
you
I'm
know,
going to
because it
get
can
that
impact
specific
and
quote, and
change
I'm going to
their life
speak it
too.
again. I'm
And
going
if
to
you
let her
love
say
today's
as a
episode,
short.
please click the follow or
And
subscribe
if you get me
button for the show
emotional,
on your app you're listening to it on or watching it on. And if it added value to your life, if you could please give it a rating or review, I'd be so grateful. And again, please share it with everyone you believe in. Share it with another person in your life who could benefit from it. Please post this episode and share it with others online or in your community who just might need the words and tools and lessons in this episode today. You never know whose life you're meant to change today by sharing this episode. And thank you so much for joining me today. And before you go, I want to share some words with you that couldn't be more true. You, right now, exactly as you are enough and fully worthy. You're worthy of your greatest hopes, your wildest dreams, and all the unconditional love in the world. And it is an honor to welcome you to each and every episode of the Jamie Kern Lima Show. Here, I hope you'll come as you are and heal where you need, blossom what you choose, journey toward your calling, and stay as long as you like because you
That
belong
was a
here.
beautiful podcast,
You are
guys.
worthy. You are loved. You are loved. I love you. And I cannot wait to join you on the next episode of the Jamie Kern Lima Show. Oh my gosh, you know that journey to believe actually really is something? Oprah, how have you defied the
Guys, thank you so much for staying with me. I mean, I knew it would be emotional. I didn't think I would get emotional. Oh my god. That last quote was so beautiful. And that was lovely. That last quote really got me. I was like, oh my god, because like as women, as women of color, as people, those are very powerful words. And I think one last thing to say, as somebody who is a fan of Megan, and it's really beautiful to see that she has this type of support system. I think because there are times I did wonder how would somebody survive something like this, but she has attracted a circle of beautiful friends, and it's one of the reasons why I'm not worried, because you know that these people have her back. And yeah, I pray that all of us find people who will love us as well and look out for us in our worst times and in our best times. And yeah, I think that's the message I took from it. Let's nurture relationships with people who can cry with us, laugh with us, and hold us when the storms are high. And yeah, guys, that was beautiful. I hope we get more from Megan. And yeah, thank you all for supporting her and seeing through the BS. Every word, every time you reboot the Royal Router, every time you support channels like mine, you are in one way sending your voice out in support. And that is a beautiful thing, because that is what we women of color, we black women need to do for each other. So yeah, thank you all for joining my live. It was a very emotional live. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.